All right, everyone, buckle up, because today we're diving headfirst into the world of Polygon and their ambitious play to become, get this, the value layer of the internet.
The value layer of the internet, bold statement.
It really is, right. And the fuel for this grand vision, their proposed new token, POL. You, our awesome listeners, you sent this paper our way, and let me tell you, it is dense. But the core idea, it's actually pretty simple.
Deceptively simple, maybe.
Haha, that's a good way to put it. Okay, so imagine this. Sending money across borders as easily as firing off a text. Or how about earning crypto just by crushing it on your favorite mobile game, then using it to buy your morning coffee?
Frictionless value exchange, that's the dream Polygon is selling.
Exactly. And they're not just talking about making things a little smoother. They want to support millions, even billions of transactions.
Which, let's be real, is a monumental technical challenge.
Huge. And that's where POL comes in. So seamless value exchange, that's the why. But how does POL, this new token, actually make it happen?
Think of POL as the engine oiling the gears of this whole ecosystem. It does a few vital things. First off, it secures the network through what's called validator staking.
Staking, that's a word we hear a lot in the crypto space.
For good reason. It's a powerful concept. So imagine validators as the guardians of the Polygon network, right? They're making sure all transactions are legit and secure. But to become a validator, there's a catch. You have to stake some POL. Basically, you're putting down a security deposit.
Ah, so it's like a trust-building mechanism.
Exactly. Keeps everyone honest.
Yeah.
Because if a validator tries to pull a fast one, they risk losing their staked POL.
Makes sense. But what's in it for these validators? They're locking up their POL, so there's got to be a reward, right?
You bet. Validators earn rewards, and you guessed it, more POL. And here's where it gets interesting. There are different types of staking. You've got your standard locked staking, but then there's this cool thing called liquid staking.
Okay, hold on. Liquid staking. The first time I came across that term, I was completely lost. Can you break that down for us?
Sure. So with liquid staking, you can still earn those sweet, sweet rewards and help secure the network, but you have more flexibility. Like you can potentially use your stake tokens in other ways at the same time.
Interesting. So it's like having your cake and eating it too.
Kind of. It's all about providing options and maximizing the utility of your POL. But staking is just one piece of the puzzle.
Okay, so POL isn't just about buying low and selling high. It's the lifeblood of this whole system.
Exactly. And we haven't even touched on how POL gives users a say in the future of Polygon through community ownership.
Ooh, community ownership. That's the governing stuff, right? All right, let's unpack that right after we take a quick break. So before the break, we were really getting into the weeds with POL, talking about how it's the engine that makes this whole Polygon network go. Staking, validators, rewards, it's a lot.
But it's all connected. Like you can't have one without the other.
Right. And then there's that other layer we were about to dig into, community ownership.
Ah, yes. This is where things get really interesting, I think.
Because it's not just about like passively holding a token and hoping it goes up in value.
Exactly. This is about having a real say in the future of Polygon. It's about building a decentralized future where the users have, a voice at the table.
A seat at the table. I like that.
So think of it this way. Imagine if, like, Facebook or Google was actually governed by its users, not by, some big corporation trying to squeeze every last penny out of them.
Okay, that's a whole other conversation, but I see where you're going with this.
Right. That's the promise of Web3, and that's what Polygon is building towards with POL.
So how does it work in practice?
Well, by holding POL, users get voting rights on major decisions impacting the ecosystem. And we're not just talking about like what color the logo should be. We're talking about things like future development priorities, how the community treasury is used.
Hold on, Community Treasury, that's a new one. What is that?
It's basically a big pot of funds, right, controlled by POL holders that are used to invest in the growth of the Polygon ecosystem.
So it's like a decentralized war
Yes,
chest.
exactly. A community-owned war chest fueled by the community itself.
So instead of relying on traditional investors, venture capitalists and all that, Polygon is basically putting the power and the funds in the hands of its users.
100%. That's next-level decentralization right there. And it's one of the key things that makes POL so compelling, in my view. It's not just about, securing the network or earning staking rewards. It's about building a more equitable future for the internet. At least that's the hope.
Okay, I'm starting to get fired up about this, but let's shift gears for a second. We've been talking a lot about the why of POL, the vision, the potential. But I'm curious about the how. Like, how does Polygon actually plan to handle millions, billions of transactions all happening on this system. That's where the staking layer comes in, right? Staking, it sounds so technical, almost like something out of a sci-fi movie, you know?
Kind of is when you think about the potential, right? The
Yeah.
staking layer, it's what lets Polygon scale up massively from supporting just one blockchain to potentially thousands or even millions of them.
Okay, so we're talking about mind-blowing scale here. But for the folks out there who aren't blockchain developers, what does that actually mean in the real world? What could you even do with a million interconnected blockchains?
Imagine if creating a blockchain was as simple as, like, setting up a website today, right? That's the kind of potential we're talking about here. Entrepreneurs, artists, developers, they could all have their own customized blockchains, fine-tuned for their own specific needs.
So it's all about customization and flexibility with the staking layer.
Exactly. And when you start thinking about the possibilities, it gets really exciting. I mean, imagine a decentralized social media platform where users have total control over their data and actually earn rewards for their contributions. Or like a global gaming ecosystem where, say, in-game items are truly owned by the players and can be traded seamlessly across totally different games. The possibilities are huge.
Okay, yeah. Now we're talking about some really cool applications, but I'm still trying to wrap my head around how POL fits into all of this, right? We've got the staking layer, we've got all these potential blockchains. Where's POL in this whole picture?
Think of POL as the glue that holds it all together, right?
Yeah.
So we talked about validator staking before. Well, on the staking layer, validators aren't just securing one lone blockchain anymore. They're actually responsible for securing the entire ecosystem.
Yeah.
The POL that they stake, it acts as this kind of guarantee for the security and the stability of all these interconnected chains.
So POL is really the foundation of this whole grand vision then.
Exactly. And the idea is that as the ecosystem grows, as more and more chains come online, as we see more and more transactions happening,
Right.
that demand for POL should theoretically increase too, which could then drive up its value.
I see. It all ties back together in the end. So we've got this ambitious vision for a whole new internet of value, POL powering it all from behind the scenes, and then the staking layer enabling this massive scale and customization that we're talking about. It's a lot to process.
And don't forget about that community treasury we were talking about earlier, right? That's going to be absolutely essential for funding all this innovation going forward.
Right. That pot of POL that's controlled by the community, that's what's going to fuel the future of the Polygon ecosystem. You know, I gotta say, when we started this deep dive, I thought I had a pretty good grasp on Polygon and where they were headed. But after really digging into it all with you, I realized I was just barely scratching the surface.
It's definitely complex stuff. And honestly, there are still a lot of unanswered questions, like, will Polygon really be able to achieve this huge vision? Will POL actually become the go-to token for this new internet of value? It's still early days, so we'll have to wait and see.
It's true, it's still early, but one thing is for sure, Polygon is swinging for the fences here with POL, right? This isn't just about creating another cryptocurrency.
Hmm.
They're trying to completely revolutionize how we think about and interact with value online. It's a huge undertaking.
Absolutely. And that's what makes this whole space so incredibly exciting. We're literally witnessing the birth of a brand new technological paradigm. Where it's all headed, well, that's anyone's guess at this point.
And that, my friend, is a perfect place to wrap things up. A huge thank you to you, our expert, for walking us through this complex topic. And to our listeners, thanks for joining us on this deep dive into Polygon and the world of POL. Until next time, keep exploring, keep asking those tough questions, and keep your minds open to the amazing possibilities of this technology.